大家好，欢迎回到我的频道，这里是伊恩的多语末班车。上一期视频我们对比了全球20位男性天气预报员的英语口音。如果你还没看过，记得去补课哦。今天我们来听听女性播音员的表现。我们直接开始吧。
We're watching a few systems to start off the work week. We could expect blizzard-like conditions across Newfoundland specifically, while the Maritimes remain dry. Meanwhile, widespread snow for those across southern Ontario on the way to start off your work week. And we continue to monitor the heavy rainfall across BC with some high elevation snow. Also some snow passing through the prairie provinces too.
We have a serious weather situation unfolding with rare red strong wind warnings now issued for Wellington, Waiata Upper south of Carterton, the Canterbury High Country, the Canterbury Plains and Christchurch. Now you can see just how widespread this next weather system is, with wind and rain arriving in the early hours of tomorrow morning, then moving up the country and crossing the North Island tomorrow night.
With typhoons Hansan heading to Japan, South Korea will be both directly and indirectly affected. In Korea, there are strong easterly winds, and typhoon and windstorm warnings have been issued at sea. Strong winds are expected along the coast. It will rain as much as 100 millimeters on Jeju Island by tomorrow and up to 60 to 80 in the eastern parts of Gangwon-do province.
Good evening. The weather was mainly fine apart from isolated showers. At 5 p.m., severe tropical storm Haikui was estimated to be about 530 kilometers east-northeast of Hong Kong. It is forecast to move west-northwest at about 12 kilometers per hour across Taiwan Strait. Up until 5 p.m., today's temperatures ranged from 27.3 to 32.6 degrees.
Hello there, good evening. Met Office weather warnings have been issued already for next week as we see further areas of low pressure start to move in from the west, so more wet and windy weather. Why has the weather been so unsettled recently? Well, to answer that, we have to take a look at what's actually going on in the US, where we have a cold plunge of Arctic air pushing in from the north. This in turn is creating a...
We start the climate bulletin with news from India. The Indian Meteorological Department has predicted heavy rainfall across multiple southern states, including Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. And this comes as fresh snowfall in the hilly regions of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand has triggered a sharp drop in temperatures across North India, including capital Delhi.
Nothing but wet weather on that day. From the east to the west, we are expecting some light snow to range from the Dongbei region into Gansu as well as the Qinghai Tibetan Plateau. Lots and lots of rainfall down in the south, just south of the Yangtze River. Let's take a closer look at Thursday, the first day of the month. Well, as you can see, light snowfall will be covering Jiangsu into just the eastern parts of...
Hello, and glad you could join us. Slight dust haze is anticipated over parts of Katsina, Kano, Bauchi, Gombe, Yobe, Jigawa, and Borno State. The north-central region will experience interval of cloudiness, while southern parts of the country are expected to see increasing cloud cover as the day advances. Meanwhile, there are prospects of isolated thunderstorms in parts of Ogun.
Prime Minister Fat Min-ching issued official dispatch number 174 calling for urgent action in response to Typhoon Boaloi, as well as flooding, landslide, flash floods, and mudslides. Prime Minister Fat Min-ching instructed local authorities in the northern and north-central regions to continue monitoring and guiding vessels at sea.
Now look at the Atlantic satellite chart. This area of rotating cloud over the country is a low pressure centre that's going to bring some further heavy rain and strong winds to some places overnight tonight. But tomorrow should be a drier day overall. There will be a few patches of rain and drizzle around at times though. Then on Monday, this front is forecast to move in from the west, bringing rain up over the country.
A severe and long-lasting heat wave is going to bring extreme to possibly catastrophic fire danger and also the potential for record-breaking temperatures over southeastern Australia in the coming week. Let's start by taking a look at today's forecast. We want to focus in on these dark red and purple areas. That's where we're forecasting temperatures over 40 degrees.
Floods hit several areas in Semarang, the capital city of Indonesia's Central Java province, in recent days. As a result, traffic of vehicles and people's activities are disrupted. Local government have been taking various measures to contain the situation so that the flood can recede as soon as possible.
Now, schools were closed across the country today on the back of the unstable weather conditions. The Ministry of Education decided to shut schools out of concern for pupil safety. Authorities are reminding motorists, meanwhile, to drive safely, as the National Weather Center raised red, orange, and yellow alerts for most parts of the UAE. Amal Al-Jabri has more.
Endo Yuka joins us from Hachinohe, one of the cities closest to the epicenter. So, Yuka, what have you been seeing in terms of damage?
Well, it seems like a lot of it is contained inside buildings. For example, one man I spoke with earlier said a bookshelf in his home fell down.
Typhoon Meihua's storm circle is starting to affect Taiwan's northern and eastern coasts. The Central Weather Bureau says the storm is unlikely to make landfall on Taiwan, and the chances of a land typhoon warning being issued are very low. Meihua will be closest to Taiwan on September 12th, and everyone should watch out for strong winds and torrential rain.
This was the troublemaker, the one we all dealt with over the weekend. This guy is now making its way offshore and should not be a problem anymore. Now we just have the stuff we're all looking forward to, and that is where are we going to see some snow. Tiny little wave, can't even see it on this map, and then a bigger system, the Clipper, that is expected to make its way through and bring the heavier snow. Let's start with the first one. This is the one that's going to bring heavy snow right off the lakes just south of Buffalo.
The Center for Climate Research Singapore has come up with the next best thing. Their latest study shows in remarkable detail what could happen here if the world fails to meet climate targets and keeps investing in fossil fuels. It could get a lot hotter and sooner than you think. Average annual temperatures in Singapore would climb about 5 degrees Celsius by end century.
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. It's that time again. It's time for your weather. We're starting with conditions in Port Isabel. TV6's Weather Center says downtown is mostly clear with temperatures at 31 degrees Celsius. We have winds coming west-southwest at 3 knots and humidity is at 78%. Looking at what's happening tonight will be generally settled.
这就是我们今天全部的女性播音员口音啦。有没有你喜欢的或者很难听懂的口音呢？记得在评论区告诉我哦。如果你喜欢多语学习、语言文化以及人类迁徙的故事，一定要关注英的多语末班车。我们下一站见。